Here's a number that might surprise you. The average first-time seller leaves somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 on the table, not because their house wasn't worth more, but because of the decisions that they made or even didn't make in the first few weeks of the process. I've watched it happen over 2 decades, and today I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen to you. If you're feeling that mix of excitement and straight up panic about selling your first home, good. That means you understand what's at stake. But by the end of this video, that panic is going to turn into a plan. So here's exactly what we're covering. I'm going to walk you through the entire process, start to finish. From the day you decide to sell to the day you hand over the keys. Pricing, prepping, staging, offers, and closing, everything. And I'm not pulling this from a blog post. I've been a full-time real estate agent for 22 years. Full-time since day one. No side hustle, no dabbling. My first year back in 2004, I sold 50 homes, and I didn't slow down from there. I'm an award-winning agent here in Maryland, consistently ranked among the top-selling agents in my market. I'm telling you this not to brag. I'm telling you that because everything you're about to hear isn't theory. It's what actually works. From thousands of transactions and 2 decades of watching what separates a smooth sale from a stressful one. Stick around because section 4 is where most first-time sellers make their most expensive mistake, and it's not the one you're thinking of. Let's start with timing because this is where the whole process either goes smoothly or falls apart. From the moment you decide to sell to the moment you hand over the keys, you're typically looking at around 2 to 6 months, depending on your market. My advice, start preparing at least 3 months out. The first 2 months are for research, decluttering, and understanding your local market. The last month is for the finishing touches, deep cleaning, repairs, and staging. Now, the biggest decision you'll make in this entire process happens before you even list the house. It's who you hire to represent you. Here's where I'm going to be direct with you. I see sellers make this mistake constantly. They hire the first agent they talk to or a friend of a friend because it feels easier. That's a mistake that can cost you real money. You're hiring someone for one of the largest financial transactions of your life. Interview 2 or even 3 agents. Ask about their marketing plan, their actual track record in the area, and how their commission works. Find someone you can trust and you can actually talk to because you're going to be working with this person for months. Now let's talk about the 2 things that determine almost everything else: pricing and preparation. Price first, and here's the truth. The single biggest mistake first-time sellers make is overpricing their home. You love your house, of course you do, but pricing it with your heart instead of the data is how a home sits on the market for weeks, gets stale, and buyers start wondering what's wrong with it. In my experience, that almost always ends in a price cut, and you sell for less than if you'd priced it right from day one. And here's the thing, I don't walk in with a folder of comps before I've even seen your house. Think about it like an appraisal. When an appraiser comes out, they can give you a range on the spot. Sure they can. But then they go back to their office and dig into the details, the roof, the HVAC system, the upgrades you've made. That's when the real numbers come together. Pricing your home should work the same way. There's work that needs to happen before I even walk in the door, and more work that happens after. Going back, analyzing everything, building the strategy. It's not about giving you a number you want to hear on the spot and saying, sign here. A price that gets thrown out in the first 5 minutes of a meeting isn't a strategy, it's a guess. Your pricing deserves more than that. And when it's done right, that's when you get more showings, more buzz, and better offers right from day one. That's not a theory. That's 22 years of watching it play out the same way over and over. Now, preparation. This is where you stop thinking like a homeowner and start thinking like a seller. You're not selling your home anymore. You're selling a product. That happens in 3 steps. 1, declutter and depersonalize. Pack up the family photos, the kids' artwork, anything that screams you instead of anyone could live here. If you need to, rent a storage unit for a month. It's a small investment with a big payoff. 2, handle the small repairs. That dripping faucet, the squeaky door, the cracked tile. Buyers notice everything. A pre-listing inspection is a smart move here. For a few $100s, you find out about problems on your terms before the buyer inspector finds them on theirs. 3, clean and neutralize. Professional level clean. And if you've got a bold accent wall or paint colors, different paint colors throughout the house, now's the time for a neutral coat of paint. It makes the space feel bigger, brighter, and easier for buyers to picture themselves in. Once the prep work's done, it's time to make the house shine. That's staging. Staging isn't about buying new furniture. It's about showing off what your home already does well. Natural light, open space, flow. That leftover junk room, it becomes a home office or a guest room. Buyers need to walk in and picture their life there, not yours. Here's something most first-time sellers don't realize. In today's market, the first showing isn't in person. It's online. If your listing photos are dark, blurry, or shot on a phone, buyers scroll right past it. I insist on professional photography for every listing I take on, and a video or 3D tour when it makes sense for that particular home. That's what pulls in serious qualified buyers, not just lookers. From there, your agent lists the home on the MLS, which pushes it out to every major real estate site, plus targeted social promotion. All right, here's the mistake I promised you earlier, and it's not what you'd think. Once you're listed, you need to be flexible with showings. Nights, weekends, short notice. The easier you make it to see the house, the better your odds of an offer. Before each one, do a 15-minute tidy up. Turn on every light and leave. Buyers need to talk freely and open closets without you standing there. Now here's the mistake. Most people assume the risk is taking the first offer too fast, but I've actually seen the opposite just as often. Sellers get a strong first offer, full price, few contingencies, everything you'd want, and they turn it down for no other reason than it's the first one. They think, well, let's wait and see if something better comes along. And sometimes something better never comes. That good offer walks and you're left waiting the following week with nothing on the table. So here's what I do to avoid that trap entirely. I list strategically. A Thursday listing is one of the smartest moves in this business. And here's why. If your house goes live on Thursday and an offer comes in Friday, you can tell that buyer you're giving everyone already scheduled for the weekend a chance to see it too. And you'll respond by Monday. Most buyers will wait it out because the weekend is only 1 or 2 days away. Now flip that. If you list on a Monday and an offer comes in Tuesday and you ask that buyer to wait until next Monday because you want to see what other buyers come in over the weekend, that's 6 full days. Most buyers won't wait that long. They'll move on to another house and you could end up with nothing. Same strong offer, same seller, same house. The only difference is the day you listed. That's the kind of strategy that actually protects you on both sides. You get real market feedback and you don't lose a great offer chasing one that was never coming. Once you accept an offer, you're under contract, sometimes called escrow, and that phase usually runs 30 to 45 days. 2 hurdles here. First, the inspection. This is where all the repair work you did earlier pays off. If the inspector finds something new, the buyer may ask for a fix or a credit, and your agent negotiates from there. Second, the lender's appraisal. If the buyer is financing the purchase, their lender sends an appraiser to confirm the home is worth what's being agreed on. If it comes in low, that can complicate the deal. But it's a standard part of the finance sale, and there are 2 options. Challenge the appraisal or renegotiate. So let's bring it together. Price with the data, not your emotions. Prep like you're selling a product, not your home. Invest in real photography. Weigh a strong offer on its merits, not just its timing. And lean on an agent who's actually walking you through every one of these steps. Here's your challenge. In the next 48 hours, walk through your home room by room with a notepad and write down every single thing a buyer would notice in the first 10 seconds. Clutter, scuffed paint, a squeaky door, anything. Don't fix it yet, just find it. That list is step one of everything we just talked about. And to make this easier, I built a free first-time seller checklist that walks through everything in this video, step by step. The link is in the description. Grab it before you do that walkthrough. If this helped you get a clearer picture of what's ahead, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this regularly for anyone navigating a home sale. Grab that free checklist in the description, and if you've got a question about your specific situation, drop it in the comments. I read every one. Selling your first home is a big deal, but with the right plan, you've absolutely got this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.